There is therefore a light which made this light of the sun. Let us love this light, let us long to understand it, let us thirst for the same, that, with itself for our guide, we may at length come to it, and that we may so live in it that we may never die. This is indeed that light of which prophecy long ago going before thus sang in the psalm, O Lord, thou shalt save men and beasts, even as thy mercy is multiplied, O God. These are the words of the holy psalm. Mark ye what the ancient discourse of holy men of God did premise concerning such a light. Men, saith it, and beasts thou shalt save, O Lord, even as thy mercy is multiplied, O God. For since thou art God, and hast manifold mercy, the same multiplicity of thy mercy reaches not only to men whom thou hast created in thine own image, but even to the beasts which thou hast made subservient to men. For he who gives salvation to man, the same gives salvation also to the beast. Do not blush to think this of the Lord thy God. Nay, rather believe this and trust it, and see thou think not otherwise. He that saves thee, the same saves thy horse and thy sheep, to come to the very least, also thy hen. Salvation is of the Lord, and God saves these. Thou art uneasy, thou questionest. I wonder why thou doubtest. Shall he disdain to save who deigned to create? Of the Lord is the saving of angels, of men, and of beasts. Salvation is of the Lord. Just as no man is from himself, so no man is saved by himself. Therefore most truly and right well doth the psalm say, O Lord, thou shalt save men and beasts. Even as thy mercy is multiplied, O God. For thou art God, thou hast created, thou savest, thou gavest being, thou givest to be in health. Since, therefore, as the mercy of God is multiplied, men and beasts are saved by him, have not men something else which God as Creator bestows on them, which he bestows not on the beasts? Is there no distinction between the living creature made after the image of God, and the living creature made subject to the image of God? Clearly there is. Beyond that salvation common to us with the dumb animals, there is what God bestows on us, but not on them. What is this? Follow on in the same psalm. But the sons of men shall hope under the covert of thy wings. Having now a salvation in common with their cattle, the sons of men shall hope under the covert of thy wings. They have one salvation in fact, another in hope. This salvation which is at present is common to men and cattle. But there is another which men hope for, and which they who hope for receive, they who despair of receive not. For it saith, The sons of men shall hope under covert of thy wings. And they that perseveringly hope are protected by thee, lest they be cast down from their hope by the devil. Under covert of thy wings they shall hope. If they shall hope, what shall they hope for, but for what the cattle shall not have? They shall be fully drunk with the fatness of thy house, and from the torrent of thy pleasure thou shalt give them drink. What sort of wine is that with which it is laudable to be drunk? What sort of wine is that which disturbs not the mind, but directs it? What sort of wine is that which makes perpetually sane, and makes not insane by drinking? They shall be fully drunk with the fatness of thy house, and from the torrent of thy pleasure thou shalt give them drink. Because with thee is the fountain of life. The very fountain of life walked on the earth, the same who said, Whoso thirsts, let him come unto me. Behold the fountain. But we begin to speak about the light, and to handle the question laid down from the gospel concerning the light. For we read how the Lord said, I am the light of the world. Thence arose a question, lest any one, carnally understanding this, should fancy this light to mean the sun. We came thence to the psalm, which having considered, we found meanwhile that the Lord is the fountain of life. Drink and live. With thee, it saith, is the fountain of life. Therefore, under the shadow of thy wings the sons of men hope, seeking to be full drunk with this fountain. But we were speaking of the light. Follow on, then, for the prophet having said, With thee is the fountain of life, went on to add, In thy light shall we see light, God of God, light of light. By this light the sun's light was made, And the light which made the sun, under which he also made us, was made under the sun for our sake. That light which made the sun was made, I say, under the sun for our sake. Do not despise the cloud of the flesh. With that cloud it is covered, not to be obscured, but to be moderated,